cunning, tactics, and the art of controlling people. The so-called cunning refers to being thick-skinned and employing dark tactics. This doesn't mean becoming a bad person, but rather becoming a good person who knows how to use tactics. You must be a good person with money, not just a good person. The art of manipulating people through cunning is a brutal tactic you must master to succeed in business or climb the corporate ladder. What I'm about to say may not be easy to accept, so remember to watch until the end to fully grasp it. The core of Buddhism, compassion. We all know that the core of Buddhism is compassion. We've all heard of Guanyin Bodhisattva, who saved people from suffering and calamity. It is said that in those times, Guanyin used various forms to save people from disasters. Among these, there were not only the noble images of the Bodhisattva but also some terrifying ones. When we visit temples, we can see some statues of bodhisattvas that look very fierce. Even bodhisattvas need to use demonic methods. Do you know why? The answer is simple. Because the real world is dangerous, bodhisattvas cannot rely solely on compassion to guide sentient beings. Sometimes, strong, even demonic methods are necessary to save people from suffering. Some good people can be guided by Buddhist teachings, but for some evil people, Buddhist methods may not work. They need to be subdued by strong methods first, then gradually guided. And some people are truly beyond saving and must be sent to hell. Even bodhisattvas need to use demonic methods to save people. Therefore, for us ordinary people, it is essential to use a bit of our innate demonic instincts and self-defense. We are not discussing whether Guanyin is fictional or not. But compassion alone is not enough. Compassion must be combined with strong methods. Do you remember how Buddha subdued the Monkey King? If you behave, we will talk nicely. If not, I will punish you. This is the demonic method of the Bodhisattva. True compassion is intertwined with demonic tactics. Only a person with the heart of a Bodhisattva and the tactics of a demon can achieve great things. The bitter truth of the art of cunning. The content of the art of cunning is extremely bitter. Ordinary people may find it hard to accept, but masters will say these are not orthodox methods. Yet, they secretly admire and even use these tactics to climb to the top of the food chain. Today, I will help you understand the core secrets of the art of cunning. The so-called cunning means being thick-skinned and employing dark tactics. This doesn't mean becoming a bad person, but rather a good person who knows how to use tactics. You must be a good person with money, not just a good person. The art of manipulating people through cunning is a brutal tactic you must master to succeed in business or climb the corporate ladder. Learn tactics from Cao Cao, learn thick skin from Liu Bei. Among the heroes of the Three Kingdoms, Cao Cao is known for his dark tactics and decisiveness. When it comes to benefits, he absolutely disregards emotions, whether it's Lu Bu who saved his life, Hou Hei the famous doctor, or Kan Rong the virtuous. He killed them all without hesitation and even declared, "I would rather betray the world than let the world betray me." His dark tactics reached their peak. Next, learn from Liu Bei, who was thick-skinned and knew how to cry. When faced with unsolvable problems, he would cry to others, selling his suffering and patience. At that time, Sun Quan was blinded by kindness and lent Liu Bei Jingzhou, even offering his sister in marriage. But Liu Bei was a master actor, later revealing his true ruthless nature by not returning Jingzhou. There was no righteousness or trust. To achieve great things, you must have Cao Cao's ruthless decisiveness and Liu Bei's thick skin to bear the burden. Those who make a good first impression on you must be approached with extreme caution. They are likely pretending. Because humans have flaws, no one is perfect. In spy movies, the person who makes the best impression on the boss is often the mole. In the world, there are three types of people: saints, villains, and hypocrites. Saints are rare. Villains are easy to recognize, but the most dangerous are hypocrites. Saints are stable, basically only doing good. Villains are also stable, basically only doing evil. Hypocrites are different. sometimes doing good, sometimes doing evil. What we need to guard against is not villains, but hypocrites. The way hypocrites operate is as follows: they do good in small matters, evil in big matters, good at first, evil in the end, making it hard to guard against. For a long time, everyone gets along peacefully, until the end when they reveal their true nature. And this heavy blow usually leaves no chance for recovery. When dealing with anyone, you should divide big benefits into small ones. Let the other party pay a part of the benefit first. Don't wait until the end to ask for everything, because people change according to the scale of benefits. When benefits reach a certain level, everything becomes unpredictable. Borrowing money is similar. If you lend someone 3 million, they will repay on time. But if you lend 300 million, it's hard to say, because they will calculate how much money is worth cutting off the relationship with you. Never let the stakes on the table grow too large, or you will be wiped out by a hypocrite. You must use cunning tactics to subdue others and also see through the cunning tactics of others. You must have thick skin and dark hands, but a kind heart. Buddha and the devil are separated by a single thought. If you use these tactics to harm others, heaven will punish you. Thick but invisible, dark but colorless. True masters of cunning go against common sense, making it impossible for others to detect. If it can be seen through, it's just a trick, meaning the skill is not yet perfected. Not being able to see through is the real skill. Therefore, you need reverse thinking. When everyone is drunk, stay sober. When everyone is dark, pretend to be white. Using cunning requires a layer of righteousness, not exposing it blatantly, but under a noble name. For example, Cao Cao used the emperor to command the princes. Liu Bei, without an emperor to intimidate others, raised the banner of being a descendant of the Han dynasty to save the Han. In the past, the bandits of Liangshan also raised a banner, claiming to act on behalf of heaven. But in the end, Song Jiang revealed his true intention to surrender to the court, gaining both fame and profit, while the heroes of Liangshan died in obscurity. Therefore, before doing anything, you must have a slogan and a mission, in modern terms, a culture and values. Only then can you win the hearts of the people, making actions that are unrelated to right and wrong appear more legitimate. In public, you need to show great compassion, but when it's time to act in the dark, be ruthless. This is the great wisdom of pretending to be foolish, like a pig eating a tiger, with Liu Bang being the best representative. Xiang Yu, despite his heroic spirit, was helpless against Liu Bang's unconventional methods. Liu Bang could be flexible, pretending to be weak when necessary, never showing his true strength. When it was time to strike, he didn't hesitate. Xiang Yu appeared heroic but was too kind-hearted, lacking thick skin and dark hands. A good Huangmen banquet turned into a celebration. He should have killed Liu Bang, but he let him go. In contrast, Liu Bang was completely different. When Xiang Yu captured Liu Bang's father and threatened to boil him, Liu Bang replied, "We are sworn brothers, if you boil my father, give me a bowl." This mentality is truly extraordinary. Liu Bang also showed his thick skin and dark hands by killing those who saved his life. Ding Gong, a general under Xiang Yu, was ordered to pursue Liu Bang. When he caught Liu Bang, Liu begged for his life, promising to repay him greatly. Ding Gong, moved, let Liu Bang go and lied to Xiang Yu that he couldn't catch him. Later, Liu Bang defeated Xiang Yu, and Ding Gong came to him hoping for a promotion. However, Liu Bang executed Ding Gong, saying, Ding Gong was Xiang Yu's loyal servant but betrayed him, causing Xiang Yu to lose the world, right? Then Liu Bang beheaded Ding Gong and announced that anyone who betrays their master will be beheaded. Those who can achieve great things are often highly aggressive but don't show it in front of ordinary people because there's not much benefit involved. Therefore, you must hide your sharpness deeper than usual, smiling kindly, but when necessary, strike decisively. Normally, talk about morality, righteousness, and kindness. At critical moments, Talk about benefits and darkness. Only then can you protect yourself and truly love those who follow you. When interacting with familiar groups, hide your sharpness. Make yourself like a turtle. Talk about recent misfortunes to create an entertaining effect, making everyone happy. If you boast a little, you will completely fail. People will envy those around them who become better, though they admire strangers who become successful. When interacting with interest groups, fully demonstrate your value, making yourself like a successful boss. To make money, first pretend to be rich. This makes it easier to access resources because the strong don't want to play with the weak. The so-called cunning is knowing when to pretend and when to hide. To make a lot of money, you must separate from familiar groups and enter more interest groups. Those who like to hang out with old friends to talk about the past are ordinary people. Strong people like to hang out with those who talk about business, interests, and the future. To succeed, you must associate with 4 types of people: the rich, the resourceful, the intelligent, and the capable. Simply put, avoid those inferior to you and approach those better than you. In the world, there are no real enemies or real friends. For example, Tencent's Ma Huateng and Alibaba's Jack Ma are still good friends. Business is business, people are people. Don't drag everything into personal conflicts, it's childish. In the world, there are no eternal enemies or eternal friends. All grievances between you and others stem from short-term conflicts of interest. When a new stage comes, when you can share benefits, you will immediately become friends. The game of adults has only 8 words. Long-term cooperation leads to separation, long-term separation leads to cooperation. It's all about interests. In trade wars, there are never friends or enemies, only interests and capital. Your current friends are only because your current interests align. In the next stage, when interests conflict, they will immediately become your enemies. At this time, what you once shared with them will become their weapon to attack you. When emotions and interests are mixed, you will definitely get hurt. Sympathy but not shared wealth cannot be combined. In life, remember 2 sentences. With those you have emotional relationships, don't involve interests. With those you have interest relationships, don't involve emotions. Between spouses, siblings, doing business together almost always ends in failure. If not failure, then daily arguments. When cooperating in business, among colleagues, once emotions are involved, calling each other brothers, the result is also hard to end well. Therefore, you must clearly separate emotions and interests. Emotions and interests are 2 conflicting things. Entrepreneurship must separate family and career. When you mix them, family conflicts will increase. Your closest loved ones are your solid support, and this also applies to friends. The art of cunning in the workplace. Remember, never fantasize that you can make real friends in the workplace. When you first join a company, old employees will bully you. At this time, you need to learn to endure and quietly accumulate strength. When you have no strength, anything you do will be considered wrong. When you have strength, you don't need to say anything, others will flatter you. How people treat you is based on your current strength, cards, and relationships. There is always a reason. The bullied are definitely the weakest. If someone dares to bully you, it means they have seen through your strength. At this time, if you resist, it may affect your interests. Therefore, you need to temporarily endure. Dignity can be regained slowly, but don't easily use interests to confront a new employee, no matter how kind. If he is the boss's nephew, no one dares to bully him. This has nothing to do with the new employee's personality. Many people, because they are not strong enough and are bullied, misunderstand that it's because others are too violent and they are too kind. Jack Ma, kind and thin, why doesn't anyone dare to bully him? Before you have a background and cards, if you keep thinking about feelings and perceptions, it's naive. Quickly approach those with position or strength to enhance your cards so that people can't look down on you. This is called relying on the tiger's power. Very effective. If you often bully new colleagues and one day you find out he is close to your boss, do you still dare to bully him? How to quickly win the leader's heart. 3 important aspects are similar interests, correct benefits, and knowing how to act. For example, if you want to get close to someone, you need to discover their personal interests. Suppose they like fishing. You also pretend to like fishing. Even buy a fishing rod and go fishing with them, discussing fishing topics a lot. Very quickly, you can get close to them. This has played the role of relying on the tiger's power. Next is correct benefits. At work, those who only work honestly are not as good as those who know how to flatter, and those who know how to flatter are not as good as those who share common interests with a leader. Always understand what the leader wants most at this time. And if you want to develop, everything must revolve around the leader's needs. In addition, you must learn to act flexibly, put aside your self-esteem, and elevate the leader's face to the sky. People like those who praise them, it's human nature. When selecting personnel, the leader first chooses those they feel most comfortable with, then considers ability. The stupidest person is the one who works hard every day but always shows displeasure, likes to confront the leader. As a result, in the end, the one promoted is usually someone else. Never look down on those more successful than you. Everyone who achieves a certain position is not useless. If you think your leader is as stupid as a pig, then you are the real pig, and they are just a fox pretending to be a pig. The wise are the true heroes. Those who understand the times are the talented. Compared to business and wealth, your small self-esteem is worthless. The essence of being thick-skinned is knowing how to appear weak and foolish. Only then will others let down their guard against you, creating living space for yourself. If you have no cards at all, but are full of thorns, you will immediately become a target. Everyone will find ways to trouble and criticize you. Therefore, the technique of cunning is most skillfully used in palace intrigue dramas. The character who is initially obscure, bullied everywhere, but in the end is the most truthless and skilled. Those who do great things follow 2 principles. Endure what others cannot endure and use the ruthlessness that others dare not use. When you have strength and advantage, reveal your fangs, hide well, and strike hard. When it's time to act, don't hesitate. Aim at the most difficult person, the one who often challenges you. Use all your strength to subdue them, make them submit, and others will naturally become obedient. The noble spirit of heroes. In martial arts stories, we often see this scene. The protagonist transforms into a great hero and fights the villain master. After a few rounds, the villain master falls to the ground, the sword is knocked away. The hero points the sword at the villain's head, the tension so thick you can hear the sweat drop. Then, the villain closes his eyes, lowers his head, and says, "Kill me if you want, no need for words." The hero looks at the villain coldly, then turns and says, "Go, don't let me see you again." We are conquered by the hero's spirit and courage. The hero becomes a role model in our hearts. The legend of heroes. Among the great figures throughout history, true heroes are very rare. We can only relive that passion through movies or novels. Those who follow the wind, fear death, see profit and forget righteousness, bully the good but fear the evil are everywhere. You only need to observe the business world to see such people everywhere. The heroic deeds described in movies and novels deeply move the audience. Because in reality, we rarely have the chance to meet real heroes. Therefore, we seek these legends in the virtual world. The harsh reality. The most interesting thing about reading martial arts novels is that the martial arts world is ultimately not the real world. In reality, you might see a hero, after walking a few steps, suddenly attacked by a villain and severely injured. This shows that ruthlessness and no mercy are necessary when facing enemies. Machiavelli, a Western military strategist, a few hundred years ago, proposed a view similar to the proverb, "If you don't pull out the grass by the roots, it will grow again in the spring." He believed that small injuries can provoke more revenge than big ones. When defeating an opponent, mercy or prolonging the time is the most taboo. The battle between Liu Bang and Xiang Yu ended with Xiang Yu's suicide because Xiang Yu had spared Liu Bang's life many times. We need to remember this lesson. When you decide to cause harm, you must do it thoroughly, not giving the opponent a chance to retaliate. Before China's liberation, Chairman Mao and the soldiers watched the play Farewell My Concubine and discussed the complete destruction of the Nationalist Party. After reflection, Chairman Mao emphasized the need to pursue fleeing enemies and not spare them for temporary fame. On April 21, 1949, Chairman Mao and Commander-in-Chief Zhu De ordered the National Total Advance to completely destroy the nationalist forces. This is a lesson from history. For enemies, either don't cause harm, or if you do, do it thoroughly, completely eliminating their ability to retaliate.